Hello students, this is Dr. S.R. Dandavate from Sanjeevani College of Engineering, Kopargaon. I welcome you to the second part of this sound engineering video. The objective of the present video is to discuss different properties of sound like a reflection of sound, echo, reverberation time that gives Sabine's formula, as well as absorption of sound, that is coefficient of absorption of sound. At the end of the lecture, learners will be able to understand these different properties and their importance in acoustics of the buildings. So before we start discussing these properties, let us have a quick review of the previous lecture. In previous lecture, we have seen some fundamental properties of sound waves, that is velocity, frequency, wavelength, followed by intensity, intensity level, loudness, expression for intensity level, that is L minus L naught, and how can we obtain the thresholds, that is threshold of feeling and threshold of audibility. We have also discussed one very important property, that is timbre, which is the special characteristics of musical sound. So let us start discussing the remaining properties of sound wave. The next property is reflection of sound. So similar to light waves, sound waves can be reflected. In fact, all other properties are also fulfilled by sound waves like reflection, refraction, interference, diffraction, except polarization, because sound waves have longitudinal nature and longitudinal waves cannot be polarized. So let us see, for reflection we have considered three types of reflectors. One is flat, the next is convex, and third one is concave reflector. Now if the sound waves are reflected by flat reflector, then after reflection the waves are scattered, and these scattered waves show spherical wavefront. If these reflected sound waves are extrapolated, then the point where which they contact, at that point it appears as the image of the source of sound. Now what if the sound waves are reflected by convex reflector? Suppose here we have source of sound and the sound waves are made to incident on this surface, and after reflection the waves are scattered more than that observed by flat reflector. So if the waves are reflected by convex reflector, then it covers large area, however the waves are attenuated, that means amplitude is decreased due to more scattering, and hence the waves become weaker in nature. And exactly opposite is the case if the surface is concave in nature. So by concave reflector, if the sound waves are reflected, the waves are converged, and hence it become more condensed and sound waves are amplified, and thus the sound waves become, or the signal becomes stronger in nature. So these different types of reflectors play a very important role in designing and planning of architectural structures. The next property is echo, which is also called as resounding due to reflection. Now here we have source of sound, and suppose this is the reflector, and these two are separated by a distance, say d. Now suppose sound waves are generated by covering the distance d, it fall upon this reflector and again covers the same distance to reappear at the same position. That means it covers distance twice. Now a simple fundamental formula can be recalled for velocity as distance upon time, but the distance covered in the present case is twice d, and time is the time interval for which the effect of the sound remain in our ear, and it is equivalent to 1/10. So this formula is rearranged for distance d as velocity into time upon 2. Now as we know that the velocity of sound in air is 340 meters per second, this 2 as it is, and 1/10 is the effect of sound that remains in our ear once we hear certain sound. So by solving this, it comes out to be 17 meter. That means if the distance between the source and reflector is less than 17 meter, then there will be overlapping between this original sound and reflected sound. Whereas if the distance is greater than 17 meter, then echo will be heard clearly and distinctly. In other words, if echo is to be heard clearly and distinctly, the distance should be greater than 17 meter, or the time interval between the production of sound and reappearance due to reflection should be greater than 1/10 seconds or 100 milliseconds. So this is what the concept of echo. The next property is reverberation of sound. So reverberation is also called as prolongation of sound due to repetitive reflections. Remember, this reverberation phenomenon is applicable, or it belongs to only enclosed spaces, because in open space the sound wave is scattered. There is no possibility of resounding. Whereas once the sound is produced in the enclosed space like room, it will never die out immediately, although the source is off. Now here suppose there is a speaker and audience, this is listener. Now once the sound waves are generated, few sound waves will reach directly to the listener, while few sound waves undergo multiple reflections. See, this sound wave is reflected many times. So at each time when reflection occur, there is slight decrease in the amplitude or intensity of sound due to absorption. So this way, due to repetitive reflection, every time the intensity of sound go on decreasing and it becomes inaudible. So because of such repetitive reflections, there occur prolongation of the sound towards the listener, and this prolongation or persistence of sound due to repetitive reflections, multiple reflections in hall, even after the source of sound is switched off, is called as reverberation. The next term is reverberation time, which is also called as Sabine's formula. So how this Sabine's formula is obtained, that we'll see in the next slide. But reverberation time is defined as the time for which sound persists. As we know that due to repetitive reflection there occur prolongation of the sound, and the time for which sound is prolonged or it persists even though the source of sound is off, it is called as reverberation time. It is also defined as the time taken by the sound to fall below the minimum audibility level, because due to every reflection the intensity of sound go on decreasing, that means its audibility level decreases, and the time taken by sound to become inaudible, that is also called as reverberation time. There is one more definition: the time required for intensity of sound to drop to 1/1,000,000th of its initial value. That means if we consider the formula for intensity level, which is L minus L0 is equal to 10 into log of I upon I0. So by this definition, the intensity of sound has to drop to 1/1,000,000. That means the value of I in this case will be 10 raised to power minus 6. And when we put this value in that formula, so log of 10 raised to minus 6 upon I0 is 10 raised to minus 12. So by solving that, it comes out to be equal to 60 decibels. So alternatively, it can be said that the reverberation time is that time required by sound intensity level to drop to 60 decibels of its initial value. So these are the various ways to define reverberation time. Now let us see how can this Sabine's formula be obtained. Professor Sabine, by having series of experiments, observed that the reverberation time, that is the time for which sound persists when the source is off, is directly proportional to the volume of the hall and is inversely proportional to the total absorption in the hall. That is, mathematically T is directly proportional to V by A, or is equal to K times V by A, or the value of K is found to be 0.161. So thus the formula becomes T is equal to 0.161 V upon A, which is expressed in seconds. Now in this expression, capital A stands for total sound energy absorbed by various sound absorbing materials present in hall, and V is the volume of the hall. K is constant of proportionality. Now for auditorium, there is possibility of having different sound absorbing materials, and it may have different surface area also. So in such a case, the total absorption capital A is expressed as summation of the product of A and S, or if expanded, it becomes A1 S1 plus A2 S2 plus up to AN Sn, where A, small a, is called as coefficient of absorption. Of course, coefficient of absorption will vary from material to material, and in this expression S stands for the area of the surface. So this reverberation time play very important role in acoustics. For any auditorium or for any hall, the reverberation time should be always optimum. That means it should neither be small nor be large. So what if the reverberation time is small? For smaller reverberation time, there will be deadening effect in the hall. Means what? Once if the sound waves are generated, then due to large absorption of it, there will be small reverberation time. Means immediately once the sound waves are generated will be absorbed, and it will cause deadening effect. The room appears to be dead. So small reverberation time is of no use. Now what if the reverberation time is large? Having large reverberation time means there will be prolongation of the sound for some undesirable period, and hence the corresponding sound will be undesirable due to overlapping between original sound and reflected sound, and thus it will cause confusion to the audience and it will be unintelligible. So under such a situation, we have to think for remedies over reverberation. So in case if the reverberation time of hall is large, it can be cut down, means it can be reduced by increasing the absorption in the hall or by reducing the volume of the hall. If the reverberation time is very short, then it can be increased by changing the sound absorbing materials, absorbing materials having high absorption coefficient by the another sound absorbing materials having low absorption coefficient, or one more way is to increase the volume. Another remedy is by providing proper or limited number of windows and ventilators which may be opened or closed to obtain optimum reverberation time. Here in this slide you can see these various figures which are different sound absorbing materials commonly used to control reverberation time or total absorption in the hall. So in general, sound absorbing material should be waterproof, fireproof, it should be strong in nature, good in appearance, as well as should have soft and porous nature. And commonly used sound absorbing materials are like maps, wall decoration, different types of curtains, plain curtains, heavy curtains, curtains with folds. So for these different curtains there will be different coefficients of absorption. The materials can be in the form of felt, fiberboard, wool, or different types of acoustical materials. Not only that, audience also play a very important role in the absorption of sound. In winter season there will be more absorption of sound by audience than that in summer season. Let us now further see what is coefficient of absorption, which is denoted by small a. From this diagram it is clear that when any sound is incident on certain surface, some part will be reflected, some part of sound energy will be absorbed by the material, while some part will be transmitted. Now how much sound energy is absorbed by the material, that depends upon the material itself, its size and particularly the nature of the material. So the ability of absorbing this sound by the material is called as its coefficient of absorption, which is defined as the ratio of sound energy absorbed by the surface to the total sound energy incident on the surface. Professor Sabine, by considering open window as a standard, explained that for an open window having area 1 meter square, if it receives certain sound energy, then it will be entirely transmitted, means it is as good as completely absorbed, and that's why the ratio of this sound energy absorbed upon sound energy incident by that open window is found to be 1. And that is why this open window is considered as ideal absorber or standard absorber of sound, and its coefficient of absorption is always 1. And due to that, as a standard parameter, he considered the unit of coefficient of absorption as OWU, that is open window unit. It also has possible unit Sabine. So this is about the coefficient of absorption of sound. In the next video, we will see the remaining properties of sound waves, that is the different parameters which affect the acoustics of hall and remedies on those parameters. So till then, wish you happy learning. Thank you.